So it's not only the end of another year, it's technically the end of another decade. We did it. So as we reach this point, I think it's important for us to sort of look up and see how far we've come, and then look forward to see what we want to accomplish in the future. Today, I want to talk about setting our goals for 2020 and beyond as a writer. It's so important, especially when they're personal goals, because the thing about personal goals is that there's no one chasing after us to get it done. We don't have a boss who's gonna be nagging us, giving us timeline, giving us deadline to get certain things accomplished. No one is really forcing us to finish writing our novel or submit our short stories or do anything like that. So it's up to us to set these goals for ourselves and then check back in and make sure we do it. We need to separate our wants from our goals. For example, if I say, I want to be a published author, that is a want. That is out of my control. However, I could say something along the line of my goal this year is to submit my manuscript to an agency. That is a clear goal. Saying I want to be a published author, there's like, it's unclear what you have to do. But if I say I want to submit my manuscript, then I have a clear focus. I need to get the manuscript done. I need to find an agency. I need to mail it to them somehow. So today I want to offer you 10 measurable goals that are within your control that you could set for yourself as a writer, as a creative of any kind, that you can accomplish in 2020. These are things you could do. The first goal is write a paragraph every day. A little bit adds up. If you're like me, you're working a full-time job, you got other hobbies, you have friends, you have a million things to deal with. Writing a little bit every day, making this your goal, trying to get on a streak, don't even consider word count, because you're gonna have days where you write a lot, you're gonna have days where you write just that one paragraph. Every little bit adds up. All those words add up. And at the end of the year, you will have, 365 paragraphs? That's like a novella. That's a novella you wouldn't have written otherwise. So write a paragraph every day. Build the habit. The second goal I want to talk about is come up with a new idea every day. If you want better ideas, then you're gonna have to come up with a lot of bad ones first and then filter out everything and start testing them out. But before you could even test out an idea, you need a sort of a library of ideas. And it's all about working out that creative muscle inside your head. If every day you just stop for a moment, look out the window, look out at an intersection, it's a lot going on out there, and just jot down an idea. Guy, red hat, chasing a balloon, or man holding plant, who is he bringing it to? I don't know. Just coming up with an idea is such a nice jumping point to getting yourself inspired to write. It just opens the door to like endless possibilities. So that is goal number 2. Come up with a new idea every day. Goal number 3 is submit a story to a writing contest. What did Michael Scott say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And it's not even about winning either. It's about, once again, getting into that habit of submitting your work. No one's gonna read your stuff, well, maybe your friends and your family, but no one's gonna read your stuff in sort of a critical sense unless you submit it. You need to give your work that opportunity. And submitting your work to writing contests is just a great way to support the literary community. It also gives you a deadline, which pushes you to finish writing your draft and forces you to polish it so that it's ready for readership. There's this concept called the Parkinson's Law, which states that a project will take as long as the deadline allows it. If you have 2 weeks to write an essay, you'll take 2 weeks. If you have 5 months to write an essay, you'll take 5 months. You're not gonna do it in 2 weeks. And writing contests are a great way just to get things done. If you want some writing contests to submit your work to, I have a link in the description. Please go check that out. The fourth goal I wanna talk about is finding your weakness and improving upon it. The sooner you recognize what you're not so good at is the moment you can start improving upon it. If you have issues creating believable characters, maybe 2020 is the year you start really working on developing your characters. Or if you have trouble ending your story. Maybe 2020 is the year you start evaluating other stories with powerful endings and sort of analyzing it and seeing how you could replicate it yourself. It's all about seeing where you currently are and making those incremental improvements just 1% better. At the end of 2020, can you be 1% better in that specific area of writing? In that specific area of storytelling? To me, learning how to self-evaluate like that is very important as a writer. The fifth goal for you to consider for 2020 and beyond is finding a critiquing partner. This could be an alpha or a beta reader that you could share your work in progress with to get constructive feedback, and vice versa. You can read their work and give them feedback as well. Having a critiquing partner is invaluable because not only do they help you become a better writer through them looking at your work, it helps you become a better reader from looking at their work. It just challenges you, it keeps you accountable. So not everybody is as lucky as I am to be married to an editor, so you actually have to go out and find someone you like and trust to share your work with. You can find these people through writing groups online, or you could find them through workshops and other sort of communities such as creative writing courses. Find someone who you are comfortable building that relationship with. It takes time. It's not gonna flourish right away, so give it time. Goal number 6 is to learn a skill that complements writing. So as a writer, you have to be constantly learning. That's essentially what writing is. You're just always learning. You're like binge learning, as I like to call it. So what I mean when I say learn something that complements writing is to learn something worth writing about, learn something worth sharing, whether that's learning how to cook and then sharing your experience about it, or painting or drawing something and then writing what you created there, the story behind that. Writing is communicating our experiences, and if your only experience is just sitting there putting pen to paper, you're gonna write the same things over and over again. But to learn something new, to learn something completely different, it just broadens your horizon. It's like traveling, except you don't need to be a travel writer. You could literally walk to another part of town and buy groceries at a different store and just try making a meal that you wouldn't usually make for yourself. Learning something like that can help improve your writing. I really believe in that, so give that a shot. Learn something that complements writing. Goal number 7, read 20 books this year. Reading is such an important part of writing, except that we often feel challenged to find that balance. It's like, should I be reading or should I actually be writing? I'm trying to be a writer here. I'm not trying to be a professional reader. But that's not true. If you want to lose weight, you can't just simply go to the gym every day. You need to also eat healthy. That is the same with being a writer. You can't simply just write. You need to sort of nourish your body. You need to nourish your mind with books. So this year, challenge yourself to read 20 books. 20 books is not even a lot. 20 books is not even a lot. I just picked that number because it's 2020. You could pick a higher number if you have to, but 20 to me is the minimum. That is the minimum. You have to read 20 books. You know what I would even do? I would make a list right now of 20 books that I want to read this year. You know why I think writing down a list of books you want to read works? To help motivate you to read more. When it comes to movies, we know what movies are coming out next summer. We know what movies are coming out 5, 6, 8 months from now. Even sometimes a year from now. We anticipate movies that are gonna be out like a couple years from now. You want to build that same sort of anticipation for the books you want to read. You want to get yourself excited. You want to look forward to it. It's like, oh man, as soon as I'm done this book, I can start reading this one. How exciting. To me, there's nothing more exciting than reading. I get more excited to like read a new book sometimes than I do to like go on an exciting trip. Yeah. Goal number 8 is to attend a conference or workshop. As I mentioned before about finding a critiquing partner, even if you already have a critiquing partner, going to a conference or a workshop is just a great way to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. I know that me as a writer, not all my friends are interested in what I'm talking about. That's why I have to make YouTube videos to sort of get that connection for what I want to share. But when you're at a conference, when you're at a workshop, you are surrounded by those people who you can share these ideas with, who share your writing process, learn new things. How do they do that? You can ask questions and they'll have legitimate answers. Another thing is that you can often feel a little bit drained, a little bit unmotivated to write. And I feel like going to these conferences just reboots the system. There's just this energy there. There's creative energy when you're around people trying to do the same thing that you are. It's just a good feeling. It's like a community. A community. Goal number 9, revisit an old piece of writing. One of the best ways to gauge your own improvement is to actually look back and see how far you've come, see what you've created in the past, and sort of look at it with a critical eye. Try to understand, why did I make that decision? Was it because I was being lazy? Was it because my limitations? How would I improve it? You don't have to actually go back and fix it. It's more of just seeing what you were able to do in the past. It's good to look at little snapshots of your past. It's like looking at a picture of yourself when you were like a little kid and just seeing, wow, all those hopes and dreams that little boy had. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to make that little boy proud of me. In another decade, you get to look back at what you're creating now and see that you're still doing, see that you're still making improvements and trying to be better. And that's life. You don't want to just make something, throw it out there, and completely forget about it. I think as a way to live, it's important to look back and see what you've done and understand how I'm better. It sounds kind of like cocky to say that, like, I want to see how I'm better. But it's actually so important to the process of improvement to actually understand where you got better. So give it a shot. Revisit an old piece of work this year. Finally, goal number 10, find your mission. What do I mean by that? So the next time someone asks you, what do you do? And you say, I'm a writer. And they ask, what do you write? Your typical response might be, a little of everything, which is a super boring answer, which kind of kills the conversation completely. It makes you feel a little embarrassed to make such a claim that you are a writer in the first place. It's like you've been called out. I find that having a mission for what you do clears all that. What do I mean by a mission? I mean, what do you want your work to do? Are you writing something that you want to change an individual, or are you writing something where you want to change a culture? Think about business mission statements. Think about, I don't know, think about toilet paper. What's the mission of toilet paper? That's a very bad example, but think about like Google. Google, their mission is to make all information searchable. What is the mission of your work? And if you could communicate that clearly to someone who asks you, hey, what do you write about? Boom. That is such a good feeling. That's such an empowering feeling, and there's nothing else like that. Make that one of your goals for 2020. There you have it. Those are 10 clear, measurable writing goals that you could commit to in 2020. Is there one that resonated with you the most that you are gonna try this coming year? Or maybe in the years beyond? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you have another goal that I didn't mention here, please let me know as well. I love to hear about it. If you want more tips and advice for writing, I make a lot of videos about that, as well as philosophy of why being a writer is important. There's some videos there as well. Please go on and check them out. Happy New Year and good luck with all your writing endeavors. I'll see you soon.